Oh my gosh, my hair's a mess. This is what happens when you go and show property out in the country. Oh wow, my hair's such a, and it's backwards, so I can't even fix it. Waiting to see if anyone jumps. There we go. I'm not fixing it. Josh was in on this live stream. In on the live stream. There we go. And I'm eating a scone, sharing everything and all that I know about lead generation. Let me get the lighting right. I think I have this plugged in. Let's see. Yeah, I do. Joshua. Oh, sorry. I'm just smashed into. There we go. That's better lighting. Fix my hair. So I'll tell you guys my story. And the way the story goes is I had another job full time when I started real estate. I was a university professor for 15 years. And let me find out, where do I see the chat? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I was a university professor for 15 years. And when I started real estate, I was really nervous about going full-time. In fact, when I got licensed, I actually got licensed because I was too nervous. I was too nervous to go out on my own. Like, how will I know? Oh, hold on. How will I know if I'm going to find clients? How will I know if I'm going to build a business? How? Because I was a W-2. And if you're listening to this and you came from the W-2 world, it can be terrifying to go out on your own, especially if you don't have any idea. Now, I had a friend that was in real estate, and he was actually one of my initial coaches, and he was sharing with me how he built his business and the things that he was doing to build his business. And I was learning a lot from him. A lot of what I learned was actually by proxy. So I'm going to put these on my head. There we go. That's better. It's inverted, so I can't even tell which way. I'm struggling with my hair today. Okay. I learned by proxy. I just happened to be with him when we were driving to see different properties, or I would come to an open house because he'd have me bring him coffee, or, and I just listened to the things that were going around me. And so I think a lot of the things that I learned about real estate actually learned in those moments. And if you're listening to this, following around and listening to somebody can only help you. Only help. Go to open houses. Listen to how agents talk to people. I just told someone today, learn from as many people as you can learn from. There is no one person that has all the answers. There isn't one, because everybody's market is so different, and every individual agent's market is so different. You could be living in the same city and have a completely different market than the agent adjacent to you. So while I was working at university, I was just casually doing this. If I ran into somebody, if I hosted an open house and met somebody who's very passive. And if you're listening to this and this is your full-time gig and you're finding clients passively, meaning you're not waking up every day looking for that, then you're not going to hit the level of success that you're looking for. You have to be putting the kind of time and energy you would put into a day job, into this job. No, you don't have to do it 8 hours a day, because we don't work 8 hours a day. You're going to be on the phone at 8 o'clock at night sometimes. They're going to be texting you at 5:30 in the morning sometimes. So we don't have that 9 to 5 mentality, and you can't take the W-2 mentality into this and be successful. So one of the things that I did was when I kind of didn't choose to go into real estate full time. I think some people get the choice. I think if you choose to do it, you tend to do it because you feel like you've gotten to a place where you could sustain or support yourself and chasing it. I think when you're thrown into it, meaning the job that you had disappears and that this is the only way you have to kind of build an income, I think when that happens to you, there's a different level of drive that comes with that than if you were to choose to become a full-time agent, because now you have no choice. Like, this is literally the only thing you have in your wheelhouse to generate income for yourself. So that's what happened to me. I was part-time floundering around for about 1.5 years. And then I lost my teaching job for the summer, not for good, for the summer. Enrollment was down. I was last man in, first man out. So, and Joshua will always be in these streams. So when I lost the teaching gig over the summer, I just was like, I have a license. I'm going to have to figure out how to make this work. I mean, this is it. I'm going to have to figure out how to make it work. And so that was when the clock started ticking for my 90 days. If you've heard my story anywhere, I went from an empty funnel, and I truly had an empty funnel. I had not been working the business. I had not been building anything. I'd been in Canada for 10 days seeing my family before this happened. And I came back and I just was like, I literally put the blinders. You can ask friends of mine from back then. I called and said, I can't hang out with you this summer. Like, I literally shut my life down because I knew I needed to focus to make this work. And what I did was I sat there and I evaluated everything that was available for me in my network and my community that any agent was doing. So I wasn't just looking at the things that I wanted to do or the things that would make me happy. I was looking at everything they did. Cold calling, if that was it, door knocking, open houses, events. I looked at all of it. And this is kind of the really most important thing. I picked the ones that I knew I would enjoy, right? Like I knew I would not enjoy door knocking. It's 90 degrees here. It wasn't going to be fun. And I knew that cold calling, that was not, I actually worked one summer. I think I made it 2 weeks in like a call center, like where they just keep calling for you. And nobody likes that cold call. Like, nobody likes that cold call. So I knew that wasn't for me either. So I knew, I was like, you know what? I enjoy open houses. I always enjoyed with my friend when I went there. I like those. I said, I'm a teacher. I have that skill set. You don't have to be a teacher to have this skill set though. I was like, I can teach people what I know about this. And so I started to set up the entire month of June. So I had no job as of May 31st. The entire month of June, July, and August, I was looking at the next 3 months. And I was like, okay, I can float myself with nothing coming in for June, but I've got to get a payday in July. And I really want a payday in May. So I actually set a goal for myself. Once I examined the landscape, kind of got a feel for what I could believe that I could do, I looked at everything and I was like, okay, here's what I can do. I can not see myself like finding a client and closing on a property in 4 weeks, which is wild because now, like, I just met a guy today. We met, actually, I got his number 2 days ago. We saw a condo today. He wants to offer tomorrow. It's cash. He can close in 12 days. But I didn't, at that time, I didn't know that existed. I didn't understand what cash buyers and how title worked. I didn't understand any of it. What little I knew was loans take anywhere from 30 to 60 days. That means June's out, right? So I was like, but if I spend all month looking, I was like, I could see myself finding 2 people in June, 3, 4 people in June, and I could probably find 2 that would close in 30 days. And then I probably could find like 4 or 5 more to close in August. And all those numbers, when I said them, felt right to me, if that makes sense to you. Like, it felt like I believed them. I didn't think it was impossible. I'd never closed 5 in 1 month before. I'd never closed 2 in 1 month. So you might be like, oh, you were in for a year and a half. I think the first year I closed a total of 3 or 4 deals the whole year because I was teaching. I had a crutch, right? I'm a little crutches. So when I went to look at a full-time situation, I was like, look, if I'm doing open houses every chance I get, if I open my mouth every chance I get, no matter where I'm going, if I host weekly events teaching people to buy, I am going to meet people. I'm going to have conversations. I could see how this was going to work. But notice, like, I was putting things in motion, right? Like, I was making a plan. There was activity that was going to get done on a weekly basis consistently, right? I actually had decided at that point that I was going to do open houses every single weekend until I was too busy to do them again. And to give you guys a time frame, this was back in like 2018. To give you an idea, this might have been 2017. To give you an idea, it took me 18 months to get so busy that I couldn't do them on the weekends. 18 months of consistent, sometimes dead open houses. And I did not let it get myself down. So I started these open houses. I started promoting them. I started reaching out to strangers and letting them know that I was hosting events on home buy clinics. I started paying a little bit of money with Eventbrite and Facebook to push these events to my market. I started figuring out what people wanted to learn about. So I knew I did all these things, and I did them. And I did them and I did them. I did them. I closed 2 houses in July. And then I closed 5 more houses that August. And then the day that the last one closed, that next weekend, my first Yorkshire Terrier, the love of my life, passed away. And I fell right off the success wagon, right clean off. But what happened when he passed, what I learned was your business is directly connected to your energy. Meaning, if you are inspired and excited and you're constantly waking up every day looking for that next person to connect with, looking how to build your business, if you're working in that space on a daily basis, business will it's this beautiful cycle. If you fall off, so when my little one passed, I just didn't care. I'd never lost a pet before. Anyone on here ever lost a pet before? I'd never lost one. I didn't understand how to grieve that. This guy came 6 weeks later. I couldn't stand my life without a Yorkie. But my business had fallen apart too, because energetically I just wasn't in it. I wasn't in it. And so I'd had 5 more closes set up that September, and I think I closed 2 of them. 2 completely fell apart, 1 pushed in the next month. I say that to say, even those 5 closes, I wasn't touching them. I wasn't on top of things. We have to literally be in these deals on a daily basis, moving them, touching them, or they will unravel. They'll literally unravel in front of you. And I'd have to study, like, why is it that they would unravel so easily? Like, I'd have to study that, but they do. And so I finally got myself back together and I rebuilt, and I did the same things that I did the first time, and I started again. I wasn't quite at 0 this time because I still had a funnel that I was nurturing from the summer. And that's what's really great. Like, once you start filling that funnel, right? Unless you walk away from the business entirely, that funnel is always kind of there. As long as you're using ways to nurture them. And if you don't know how to do that, stay tuned for another video. Let me know in the comments. I will definitely do another video on that because I think that's so important. That conversion, all those things are so powerful in the business. And they're all things that I just learned from doing and it not working, or it working or not working, etc. So I want you guys to know, who are listening to this, absolutely anything is possible in your business. You can take, if you're sitting here and you have nothing in your pipeline, you can take that to something probably in less than 90 days. If you have a business and you want to get to the next level, it is not rocket science to double your income, triple your income. I moved from 80K in my first full-time year in real estate to $500,000 in 4 years. I just doubled it. And it's because it compounds, like compound interest. Your business becomes a compound situation where you continue to invest, and over time, this just doubles and duplicates and triples and on. So I wanted to start with this live, sharing this kind of quick story. But I have a blueprint. If you're interested, comment blueprint below, and I'll definitely reach out, share everything I know. But I want you to know, any level of success that you came in to experience in real estate can be yours. You just have to believe and do the work.